Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Cozy Place podcast. I am your host, Brittany Banks, licensed mental health therapist and relationship coach. This is a space where we essentially talk about all things healing, personal growth, building healthy relationships, and faith. And today we have a beautiful guest with us. Today's guest has a message that so many women can actually relate to, honestly. She's a wellness advocate, a speaker, a creator who works centered around women navigating full demanding lives without losing themselves in the process. We know that happens, right? Drawing from both personal experience and her background in health and wellness, she speaks openly about mental wellness, faith, self-care, motherhood, marriage, and redefining success in a way that is sustainable. We all need that, okay? So please join me in welcoming Janelle Wright, a.k.a. Coach JJ, a.k.a. JJ. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
I'm excited to chat with you.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. You have a different perspective from others that I've had on so far.
Uh-huh.
So I'm always excited for the new ones, right?
Okay.
My first fitness one. Okay. So, where do you want to begin with your story? Because it could be any point. Let's talk about what you do now. So what is that? Like, what are you promoting for women? What is your business based on? All of those things.
So, of course, I'm in wellness, fitness, and we'll go back and we'll talk about how I started started everything. But where I am now is more of talking to women about the framework and knowing where you are and understanding that there are questions you need to ask yourself. So that way you'll know where you need to be at that next level.
Okay.
So I have a new program framework. It's called Girl Grown.
Okay.
And it's about being that girl, but we grown. And I found myself with this particular framework when I was working on myself.
Yeah.
And it was always the mental part that I was missing when I was always trying to lose weight. You know, we got families, careers, everything else that's happening. Yeah. And I could lose the weight physically. I could do it. But then the one time that something like just sets me off, I'm back doing the same stuff over and over again. And once I figured out that it was the mental part that I was missing, then I just said, let's go. And I just developed that framework. I didn't have anything to call it back then.
Okay.
I was just following what I knew and what worked for me. But I started to really implement that when I owned my own fitness studio.
Okay.
And I started to show people and educate them on how to evolve. And see, that's a lot of things that coaches are missing, is that they're missing how to teach people how to go on without you.
That's fair. That's important.
Yes.
Because otherwise, why are you trying to trap me?
Yeah, that's it. I'm not learning anything. I'm not losing weight. I'm not getting where I need to be.
Or maybe they are, but that success is reliant on being attached to that
Absolutely.
person. That's actually kind of how I go about my therapeutic process. Most therapists should be doing this.
Yes.
So where you're teaching the skills, and my goal is eventually like, you don't need me because your mindset has shifted enough to kind of navigate. And it's not to say you go into therapy, you get out and you're done, but you might have to circle back for other events in life.
Absolutely.
But equip people to be okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
So are you a certified fitness instructor, or how did you go about that?
I'm a certified health coach.
Okay.
So I've been doing that probably about maybe 6 years now.
Wow.
And then I put that down so I could open my fitness studio. So I owned a indoor cycling studio in downtown Dallas for about 2.5 years. We worked on it for about 4 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I love that.
And, but going in, I already knew, because I had already experienced it, that they needed to be educated so they can evolve. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to leave once they understand. But if you equip people with enough information to where they can keep, doing what they need to do and then challenge themselves, they'll never leave, or either they'll get better and better. And that's the whole goal.
And send you referrals.
Yes. And that's what happened. And you want to leave people better than what you found them.
For sure.
And that's literally how I thought about it every time somebody came in that door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what were the mental blocks that you had to overcome to because you talk about having a system and being disciplined on your page.
Yep.
What was hindering your system?
just things that happen in real life. Having a fight with your husband.
Okay. Talk about it. Go ahead.
Having a fight with your husband. You know, it was at a point to where, you know, me and my husband, it's not that we didn't like each other. We just didn't know how to cope. I was always the one that was wanting, I was like, we not really wanting anything more materially, but more of like, I know we can do more of this. I know we can do more of this and that. And he was just like, well, why you changing? I'm not ready to change. But you always have to remember that your spouse or your significant other is going to be evolving at a pace that's maybe faster than you. And either you keep up or either you allow them to evolve. That doesn't mean they're going to leave you, but that's what he thought. That every time I was trying something new or I really got good at something, and he would be like, no, you need to be at the house.
Okay.
You need yes.
So I'm going to come back to that. Since we're here, I want to say this because I don't think this is said enough. In marriage, it is literally about choosing to love the new version of that person over and over again. Learning how to love the new version of this person over and over again. And when people hear new version, they get scared. But we're not going to be this. If you're the same person you are from 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, something is wrong.
Something is wrong. Absolutely.
So your likes are going to change. Your dislikes are going to change. What's comfortable is going to change. All those things. And one, we have to be communicative about that, like express that to your spouse, but also be open to pivot. It's like, okay, what we working with today? How do I get with this? So it sounds like he got fearful. How long did that last before he like caught up to saying like, you know what? This is okay. It's a new woman.
I mean, because I'm not the same Janelle that he married when we were 23.
Okay.
I'm definitely
So
not.
you got married 23, that's young.
So we've been together a total of 28 years.
Come on.
So it's just a matter of him just saying, okay, she's not going to stop evolving. Because I got to a point to where, because we separated twice. I tell people that all the time. You might need to separate from that person. That doesn't mean you have to get a divorce, but you might need to live apart for a minute. In order for that other person to see, you're like, can I live without this person, or can I, come where they are, or just accept that they're moving forward in their lives. And the second time that we separated, he kind of figured that out.
How long was each separation?
The first one, probably was a little bit over 6 months because at that time, my youngest son, he was about 6 months when we separated. So we had made a whole transition. We had moved from Texas back to Arkansas because that's where we're from. Back to Arkansas. And I wasn't working the type of job that I was working here in Texas. So it was kind of like I was having to like adjust. And it just wasn't working. And so we just said, I'm done. And I headed on to Memphis and stayed with my mom.
Fair enough. And then the second time
I think it was maybe about 2 or 3 months. I left and got an apartment at that time. It wasn't bad, but I needed to show him. And I always tell anybody that asks me anything about marriage, I say, you have to show people better than you can tell them. And I went and got an apartment. I moved all my stuff out. Me and my children, we stayed in that apartment. And 2 months later, he was like, can I move in with y'all? No, I'm not making fun of him, but it was more of, he realized that she is going to keep going without me.
So that's a good point too to address. And I'm going to ask you, I'm not even going to put words in your mouth. When you say show them, what exactly do you mean by that? Because it's not even just specifically for marriage. It's for people. So what do you mean by that?
So actually putting action behind your words. So if you are sick and tired of something, you're going to do something about it. It's going to be an action behind it. And at that point in my marriage, I was just sick of how I was being treated. The sacrifices that I made did not match his sacrifices. And so therefore, I just said, well, you know what? Well, I'm going to show you, because if I'm already doing all this by myself, I don't need you. So I'm going to go ahead and just get an apartment. I sure did.
That is in line with the part of boundary setting that people get afraid of So when you said about it, you have to be prepared to enforce the boundary. And it can be extreme. It can be scary because there was no guarantee that he would have came back.
That's it.
You said this is it and was prepared to walk away.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that y'all were able to reconcile and come back.
Absolutely.
For 28 years. That's another thing, y'all. The longer you stay, that don't mean it's all perfect. There's no fairy tales.
Not at all. Not at all.
Can you, since we're here already, can you explain what that journey was like? Because I'm assuming you guys are in a very comfortable place now, a good place of understanding one another, and there's a flow in the marriage and in the home.
Right.
What did it take to get there, being married at 23? Because I don't know about you. At 23, I ain't know nothing, okay?
No, you see, being married that early, that was like I'm checking everything off my list. I graduated from college. I'm done this. But I didn't know any better because that's kind of like what I saw.
Okay.
So I literally was just going by my checklist of like what I wanted to do. I graduated from college at 22. Right after that, got married. Right after that, literally had my first son. So it was like I was checking off those boxes.
Wow.
But somebody forgot to tell me how to actually live. And it was okay to get married, but nobody said, hey, y'all be a couple first. Y'all be friends first.
Yeah.
Before y'all start having kids and all the responsibilities. I didn't know that.
That's important.
That's important. And so now, I even tell my son is 22. He'll turn 22 next month.
Okay.
And I tell him, you need to be friends. So if you decide that you want to get married, y'all go travel. Go and find out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, before you start to bring children into the world. Because number one, I am too fine to be a grandmother.
Okay.
Not.
Period.
And on top of that, just find out who you really are before you start to just make all those lifelong commitments.
Okay.
People forget about that. Or either their blueprint, they're not told.
I think most people are not told, to be honest.
I agree.
Did you have examples of healthy marriages, or is this like trial and error? Trial by fire?
Trial and error.
Okay.
My mother was married 3 times. My aunts were married. Pretty much everybody that I knew had either been divorced or they had been married several times.
Okay.
We are the only people on my side of my mom's family and on his side, we are the only couple that have stayed together this long.
Wow.
First marriage. And that's by the grace of God.
Yeah.
That is by the grace of God.
But you don't, I know you probably realize, but how often have you thought about it? You have literally set the tone and a blueprint for the younger generations of your family to see, it is possible.
Yeah. We just had to make a decision that after that second time that we separated, that don't mean like further down the line that I was just like, I'm about to leave. And then he'd be like, oh, or say vice versa.
Right.
But I just decided I was going to set the tone different for my children. And I just said, if we're going to do this, then we got to be on the same page about some things. And it was like, we got to be on the same page about money, where we want to live.
Come on.
You know, how we want to raise our kids.
Tell the people, keep going.
And we had to come up with our own, like, traditions.
Yes.
Like, having a big old Thanksgiving. We tried it a few times, but then we're just like, our family don't even come here.
Okay.
Or either the family we got, we don't want to go there.
Okay.
So we had to come up with our own thing.
Yeah.
That made us comfortable and what made us a family. And so we've always lived away from our bigger part of our family. We've never lived in the same city with them since we've been married. So it's always just been us 4.
Yeah.
And that's all we got. That's what I tell them. That's all we got.
Okay.
You know? So just being a part of a nuclear family that we created, that we did something for ourselves, is a generational curse in itself that we broke.
Yes.
I told myself the other day, I was just like, you've done so. I'm very hard on myself, but I was just like, you broke so many generational curses already.
You have.
Girl, clap for yourself.
Please. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yes. If you are, or you find yourself in the position of being a generational curse breaker, that comes with being misunderstood.
Yes.
That comes with finding your way through the dark because you don't have any guidance on how to do this thing. That comes with having to be open to new ideas and new ways of living.
Absolutely.
And not being judgmental of those who don't understand the changes that you're trying to make. But some people will go that route and then take the I'm better than you role, which we don't want to do that. Right. So it's weighty when you are the person in your family who's, I say, always just been chosen to like do something different. Yeah. Break the curses and set the tone for the next generation.
But I didn't know I was going to be like that. I was a very passive child.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
Nobody grows them like, I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah. Some people like, I'm going to be this. And I'm like, girl, I don't know what I'm going to be, but okay. But I was a very passive child. Yeah. I let people bully me. I let people check. I mean, I wasn't one of those people that just stood up for myself, but I always did things like in school and growing up. Like I was on the dance squad. I was in the band. I mean, I've always done those kind of things, but I didn't think of them as strengths. Okay. I was just like, I'm just doing it.
Just doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. So let's switch a little bit and talk about that journey to confidence. Because I'm shocked to hear you were like just passive. Were you quiet?
I'm not going to say I was quiet, but I just let people just kind of just run over me.
From what age to what? Like, when did that start?
Probably, I know it was in elementary.
Okay.
Elementary all the way to high school. Mm-hmm. I didn't find my confidence or my own journey until I got to college.
Wow.
And that's when I was like, oh, it's more people than what I was growing up with around here. So that's when I got, heavily involved into things in school. Mm-hmm. And, I did dance. I always was a dancer. So I always did dance and that type of thing. And that's when I joined my sorority. Okay. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
And that's where I found my people, my tribe. Then from there, I always knew that I was going to move to Dallas. I don't know why. I just was always just like, I'm going to move to Dallas. But I have family here. Okay. I just don't see them very, very often. But I was just like, I'm just going to move to Dallas. And I literally did. Okay. So I told you that checklist that I had. Yeah. Like that was part of the checklist.
Wow.
I graduated before my husband. So I was already here.
You met him in college?
No.
Okay.
I met him. I knew him when we were in middle school.
Oh, wow.
And so, but we didn't talk.
So y'all have known each other
for a very long time. But I didn't talk to him until we got to college. Okay. And he was online. I hadn't pledged yet. And I was like, y'all, who is that? And they told me who he was. I was like, I went to school with him. And I was always talking to his LBs. Hey, tell him. It was just one of those things. Okay. And so that's how we got together. But,
fair enough. Yeah. That is interesting. Wow. Known each other since middle school. I've known each other these whole lives, basically.
Yes, literally. But we did talk. We really did not talk until college.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. So what'd you go to school for?
I went to school for community health.
Okay.
And I didn't know where it was going to take me because I didn't want to be a nurse. My whole thing, like my mom's sisters, they're all nurses and nurse practitioners. Okay. I don't like blood. I don't like it. I'm not doing it.
Me either.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. But in college, my mom was a nurse, so I worked at the local nursing home. Okay. And so I was a CNA. So I saw a lot there. I was always in one of those roles where I was always caring and that type of thing. But I was just like, I'm not being no nurse. No. But my bachelor's degree is in community health. Okay. And then I just started from there and I moved here. Got a little job at a workers' comp company. And they told me, they was like, you too smart to work here. Can you they was like, can you find something else? So that's when I moved into closer to downtown and started working at UT Southwestern. And that's where where I found a love for actually working behind the scenes in the system. So I've been in healthcare IT for over 18 years now. Okay. So that's when I learned how to actually build the system and train and all that good stuff.
Okay. So how did you go from that to getting into what you do now? Like, what was the trigger points, the pressure, the journey to being Coach JJ?
Well, like I said before, I just got sick and tired of how I was looking and how it made me feel because I was never a heavy kid or pre-adult. Okay. It happened after you have kids. So nobody told me about what to do after you have children or the type of stress that you're going to be under. I saw it, but nobody really talked about it because us Black women, we are resilient. So we just roll with the punches. So I saw my mom do it, that blueprint. I saw my mom do a lot and how she was the same way. And she just was not herself, And in 2017, we had moved back here. Okay. From Arkansas after being there for 7 years and moved back. And I was like, I'm just sick of how I look, sick of how I feel. And I was just like, something had to change, but it had to start with me. I couldn't tell my husband, can you do this with me or whatever? Because my husband's very thin. He don't have nothing to lose.
Okay.
He don't have nothing.
He can still work out.
He can still work out, but he was not trying to hear that.
He can gain weight while you lose.
That is true.
Right.
But we didn't know how to do that simultaneously.
Okay.
You know? So I was just at a point to where I was doing well career-wise. And I was, traveling for work. I was doing all kind of stuff. So, but I just did not like how I looked and how I felt because I didn't feel like that mentally.
Okay.
And
so now I'm going to ask a personal question.
Yeah.
You ain't got to give a number. But I wanted people to understand because sometimes people say, oh, I gained weight. And it's just like, girl, you gained 20 pounds. How much weight did you gain that where you were just like, I don't even know who I am?
I was almost 200 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like in 193.
Okay.
I was 190. Coming from like 140s.
Wow.
130s.
Okay. So that's a significant change for you to be like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I had watched this particular program on Instagram for over a year. And then I saw somebody that I knew do it and they were talking about the results. They were getting interviewed by the people and stuff. And I was like, so, usually some people, they're like, oh, okay, well, I know somebody that did this. Let me ask them.
Yeah.
I asked him about the program. It was a 30-day program. And he's like, yeah, you should do it or whatever. But in my brain, I'm like, okay, well, what else do I get out of this? See, this is where the mental part comes.
Okay.
Because I was just like, I've lost weight before. I've done all that stuff before. Did Herbalife, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Lost the weight and then gained it right on back.
Okay.
So I said, what is this going to be? What is going to be different this time? So once they sent me my meal plan and all that stuff, but I was just like, what is going to be different, Janelle? And I was just like, it's the discipline. And I needed something that was going to motivate me. I'm sorry, money motivates me. Okay. They was giving away $2,500 to the person that lost most weight.
There you go.
So.
Did you win?
I did.
Hey.
I did.
She said money talks.
Money talks, But it also let me see the kind of person that I had become too, because it was that level of discipline. It didn't matter if I had to order pizza for my children and my husband to eat while I ate my food. It didn't matter that I went to the gym at 8:00 at night once I was done doing homework with my kids.
Yeah.
Or if I got up at 4:00 in the morning and went, it was the level of discipline. Instead of saying, I don't know, I'm going to fit this in today. I don't know how I'm going to do this week. Oh, I didn't have enough food today, so I ate pizza with my kids. I didn't want anything to give me an excuse. It was time out for excuses.
Yeah.
And I literally busted my tail and worked until I lost that weight and it came out.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want you to slow down a little bit though. Talk about like the practical decisions it takes to build discipline. People don't believe it can be taught. And I'm like, no, it is a skill.
Yeah, it is a skill.
You're not going to be motivated every day, right? So talk about just the mental gymnastics and the decision-making process of developing that discipline system.
So the mental gymnastics that you play with yourself is like how to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because it is. Some days you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
Some days you're going to be full of energy. And then on top of that, as women, our hormones play a huge part in our mental and then also in our body. So I took it as is that if I can get up and set a routine and take it slow, because a lot of people, they just go gung-ho and then 2 weeks you're done because you're like, I'm tired.
New Year's resolution.
That was it. That was it. Those are the New Year's resolutions. That whole month. And then by the end of January, I'm tired. And
most of the time it's before that.
It's actually before that. Yeah, it really is.
If you go to the gym, you'll see it.
Yeah, it'll trickle on off. Yeah, by that third week, they done. So I just said, I'm going to take it slow and just give myself more time to get to certain things. Yeah. So doing the cardio, I didn't know how to lift weights. I was just doing what they sent to me in my email.
Okay.
So I would watch a lot of different videos and stuff like that. You have to immerse yourself in what you want to change.
Yeah.
And that's literally what I did. I still had my job. I still actually had another business at the time that I was running.
Okay.
Still had my marriage. Still had everything that I had to do on a regular basis. On top of immersing myself in what I needed to do to actually change mentally so I could change physically.
Yeah.
And once I considered what people were just like, I got to go again, it's called consistency.
Not, I got to go again.
Yeah. I got to go again. Yeah.
Why people think you show up one time?
I know. I just be like, it's not a one-time thing. It's
No,
like you
it's
got to
not.
go every day. You got to develop that want and that hunger.
Yeah.
So another thing that helped me was that I started seeing results.
Yeah.
And once I started seeing those results, I was like, oh, bet. I can do this. I can do this. So, but the thing is that consistency does not have to look like 100% every day.
Okay, talk about that.
So people would come in and they're just like, okay, I'm doing an hour on the treadmill, and then I'm gonna work out for an hour. I'm gonna do all these weights for an hour. Nobody can sustain that every day for 7 days at all. No. So should have been some days I walked in there with just being on a treadmill. That consistency was probably about maybe below 50%.
Okay.
The days that I needed to lift weights and do cardio, I had to do those too. Literally over 100%. So that consistency looks different. But as long as you show up for yourself every day, or what the routine you set for yourself. So if you're going to go for about 4 days, you already know you need to plan out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Show up for yourself on those days that you set. And then it becomes more.
Yeah.
And then you'll do like what my husband says, my brain be cussing me out when I don't go to the gym.
Okay.
So because that discipline is there.
Yeah. You
so
feel off.
I feel off.
Yeah.
And my day doesn't go well. So now I'm up at the gym, whether I know I only got 30 minutes to get on the treadmill, or if I got a full hour to lift weights and do a little bit of cardio.
How do you push past the I don't feel like it?
Now or then?
Either or, both, you know?
I think about what I have to lose if I don't do it. What am I going to go back to? I look at that about everything across the board. That's in business, that's in my job, that's in everything that I try. What am I going to go back to? And if I don't set a routine or do something, then I already know I'm going to gain weight.
Okay.
I already know that I'm going to have to go back in business. I'm going to have to go back to that cube life that I really don't like.
Yeah.
And what do you do to say, you know, I'm just going to do something every day? Okay. You're going to get some results eventually.
Fair.
And that's what people they be like, they stop right before it gets ready to hit. That plays in my mind all the time too, the imposter syndrome all the time. Okay. Because you're literally trying to make sure that you're doing what you need to do, but then you be like, is this really working?
Fair. That's fair. So you have this moment, this epiphany where you're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Lose the weight. You're keeping it off. But that doesn't necessarily for everybody translate into, okay, I'm going to help other women do this. Yeah. Where did that come from?
That came from when I became a spin instructor. So I'm a certified spin instructor.
Okay.
And during that journey, when I was on my journey and losing weight, I needed something different for cardio. So one of my friends said, oh, there's a spin studio opened over here in Duncanville. Let's go try. I've never done it in my life. Never. I was going more than she went. Oh, I loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it because it was something different. Yeah. And then it was something that I hadn't mastered. And then they asked me, one of the instructors was like, well, we're looking for new instructors. I was just like, nah, that's not for me. I'll be okay with coming to class. And then God spoke to me and said, you just asked me, and this no lie, you just asked me for something different. You just asked me to stop saying no to stuff. That next day I called her back. I said, I'm going to do it. I'll do whatever, let me talk to the manager, whatever I gotta do. Yeah. And that's how I got into teaching spin. Okay. So once people started to learn my story, because I'm just like them, coming in, trying something new, not wanting to quit, but don't know the actual framework and how it actually works and translate for the mental part. I knew then that I had a gift into showing people, showing women specifically, how to keep going and to get to the actual goals. Okay. And it translates across everything.
So while you're working on this, because you talk about just mental wellness as well. Right. What were you fighting in the background with that? Outside of just the mindset of being resistant to change. Yeah. What else were you trying to balance in your growth journey?
I was just trying to balance who I was becoming at that time. Because I'm still a wife. I'm still a mom. And I was just like, this is a whole new Janelle, physically and mentally. So how do I become? How do I hone this into something else?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know that somebody asked me not too long ago, how did you know that you were honing this persona, Coach JJ? I didn't. I literally was just doing something that I love because I was just like, let me just talk about it. Let me just do it. Let me help whoever needs to help because I knew my blueprint.
Yeah.
I knew what I saw my mom and my aunts go through trying to lose weight, all that good stuff. So I was just like, let me show people how to do it the correct way because I knew what my blueprint was about.
In that process, did you struggle with anything like anxiety, depression, insecurity, anything like that?
I didn't because I was like, what's my next thing?
Okay.
Because in the middle of me teaching spin, I was like, okay, let me be a bodybuilder. Because I feel like there is no limit to your fitness. You got to keep one-upping. Yeah. You can't always be the same.
Yeah.
And so I started to bodybuild. I had a good friend at that time that was like, she had gotten into bodybuilding. And I sent her a message one day. I said, I want some baby abs. How do I get some baby abs?
Okay.
But I didn't really think that I was going to become a bodybuilder. And then I joined the team and I did my first competition in 2019.
Wow.
And I was like, girl, you just did this.
Yeah.
You know?
Keep doing it, or was it just like a check bucket list thing?
It was like a one-off thing. But then once I won, I said, I'm ready. I said, put me in, coach.
Okay.
But it was just that level of always one-upping and starting to immerse yourself again in what bodybuilding really meant. What did you want to really look like? What categories were you going to be? It's a whole different
things
world.
To just keep you evolving. So I'm noticing that's your pattern. Like,
yes.
You're like, okay, what's next? I'm new. I need something new.
Yes.
Now, you talked about being bullied as a kid. Was that like one of the hardest things you've gone through in life, or were there other circumstances that you had to overcome to be Coach JJ?
Being bullied, and that was things that I didn't even talk to my parents about or anything like that. Because I didn't know how to deal with it. I just kind of just let it happen. And I think a lot of people do that because they don't know how to deal with it.
For sure.
And being an adult with that type of past, I was just like, I'm just going to just see what I can become.
Okay.
It wasn't anything that I had to like endure, like anything tragic or anything like that. But I was just like the everyday woman. You know, you're doing all these things. You're being who you are and you're being what you think society tells you that you need to be. Yeah. But you're also like, well, what do I do? You know, as I'm becoming this other person. So nothing tragic or anything like that. But I just always played off of, was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do next.
Right.
It was always like, okay, well, you just did that. What can you do next? I'm a results person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you teach other women.
Absolutely.
The clients that you get, when they come to you, what space are they normally in just mentally that you have to help them shift to transform into who they want to be?
Their confidence and being aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, so like I said, I keep talking about immersing yourself in that new skill. Losing weight is a skill. And you have to be able to learn how to go into maintenance once you lose the type of weight that you want to lose. And that was something that people just don't get, is how to actually just be in that immersion stage.
Yeah.
And so that's what I teach women, how to be in that stage, but then also still being able to function in everyday life. You ain't got to be sitting there studying like a book the whole time.
That's fair.
You know, but it's more of just saying, okay, well, I did this week. I got these results. Okay, let me try this.
Okay.
You know, and then bouncing those ideas off of me to where they have that accountability. Everybody can't be your accountability partner.
No. Say it again.
Everybody can't be your accountability. Your best friend that you go to brunch with can't be your accountability partner if you're trying to lose weight. Those people that spend too much money can't be your accountability partner if you're trying to save.
Correct. Can't be the accountability partner for personal growth, mental wellness.
You cannot.
If they crashing out.
Thank you. Thank you. All those things. And so I tend to put my friends in categories. Okay. I know who I can go work out with. I know who I can go to brunch with. I know who I can do other activities with.
Yeah.
And that works for me. But some people is like, but that's my friend I do everything with. You got to change your friends too.
True.
As you elevate, you're going to want to like have other people around you. And I actually was talking about this with my husband a few minutes ago. I said, because I'm on a different level than some of my friends. And I was just like, I want to get to another level in my personal life. I got to surround myself with those people. I got to start to like talk about those things, be in those places, and it's lonely. Losing weight is lonely. Getting into a business is lonely. Doing all the things that make you better is lonely.
Yeah. You said doing a business is lonely. Now let me tell you something. In April, I hit my first year of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Like completed.
Yes.
Man, so much to learn, so much to say. So personal growth journey, especially in this hustle culture we got in America, this you gotta go society.
Right.
What did you learn in being an entrepreneur? Did you have entrepreneurs in your family, or were you the blueprint for that too?
I am a entrepreneur by way of, I have an uncle that is a very successful entrepreneur.
Okay.
But I saw him from afar. So I didn't have anybody that was like in my space that was an entrepreneur at all. So I just saw kind of like what he did from afar.
Yeah.
You know? And I just was like, I want to do something a little bit different with my life, but I just didn't know what it was. Yeah. And I actually was like, when I grew up, I was one of the people that was like, I know I'm going to be doing something pretty big, but I just didn't know what it was. I thought I was going to be in the C-suite or somewhere.
Okay.
But once I started, getting in that career mode and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, this is not what it is. So I was a part of a program at MLM and people, multi-level marketing for people.
Child, I've done it.
And
don't do it.
Don't do it, but I learned a lot from the one.
I learned a lot.
I learned a lot from that MLM that I was in, and it was travel. So number one, it was two things that I hadn't ever really done. Okay. It was travel, and then also learning an actual business model.
Okay.
And being able to put myself out there and actually talk to people.
Fair.
So traveling, baby, we was going everywhere. I done been to Greece, to anywhere you can think of, I'd been. In those 2 or 3 years that I was a part of that business, that business gave me and my family so many opportunities to go and see the world instead of just trying to do it on your own.
Fair.
It did.
Fair.
Now, the business part, trying to have people join, talking to people and all that stuff. Oh, Lord.
Do you think that's where you developed those skills?
That is literally where I developed those skills.
Same. Yeah.
That's literally where So it wasn't all bad.
That's true. That's ironic because that's where I learned to be comfortable just talking to people that I did not know.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like just to get them on board, on things, interested, anything, right?
Yeah.
So I never really thought about that. That's literally where that started in that season. So over the years, who has poured into you to help shape you and keep you supported and uplifted? Like, have you had a coach or a mentor, therapist, any of that?
I would say my husband.
Okay.
Once we got through that point to where he knew I just was not being like the homebody and cooking every day and my husband.
What point of the marriage was that? Like,
that was...
I've been together 28 years.
That was in 2018.
Okay.
And when a little bit of the year after we moved back, and he saw I lost all that weight, he was like, oh, she's not playing. And we learned how to be friends.
Okay.
Because we were friends then, but we're really friends now. Like literally, he can come, I might be like, it might be 7 o'clock, he gets off late. And he might come home, take a shower, get right in the bed. And we're just talking like we friends. Well, how was your day? Who did what at your job? Like, that's my friend. I have other friends, but that's my friend. He's always supported me. He's always, at this point in our relationship, saying, okay, what's next? Because like when I had to close down my studio, he was like, he knew I was down bad. He was like, okay, what's next?
Okay.
He already knew that I had something cooking, but he was like, okay, what's next?
He learned you.
He learned me.
He did.
He's not one of those people. He's like, it's got to be perfect before he do anything.
Right.
So But he knows me. I'm just going to jump and say, let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the second, I'm going to give a second person is my mom.
Okay.
My mom can be very critical,
Mm-hmm.
but also she knows that I can pretty much do anything I set my mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? She saw me grow up. So to do the things that I'm doing right now, she was just like, I can't believe you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I actually let her read my book that I'm about to come out with.
Oh, wait a minute.
And I know how critical she is, but also she'll give me great feedback.
Yeah.
And she's like a little wordsmith herself.
Okay.
So she's a ChatGPT person all in one. She gonna read it. I already knew this.
That's fair.
I was scared, but I just said, but she's probably the best person.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows me. And she knows everything that I'm talking about this week. She's been through all those phases.
Mm-hmm.
And I let her read it. And she was like, wow.
Okay.
I was like, you didn't see nothing wrong?
Right.
Are you sure? She said, gave me a little bit of feedback on some couple of things, but she said, wow.
Okay.
You know? So I was like, okay,
right.
yeah.
Husband and mom.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever been to therapy or?
Baby, I started therapy last year.
Okay. Come on. Yes.
I started therapy last year. And I started therapy last year because of all the things that I was going through in my brick and mortar business.
Okay.
And trying to cope with being a mom, being a wife, and trying to grow a business like that. It was different than all my other businesses that I've had.
Yeah.
And I went to therapy because I was just like, I need somebody to get this off my chest because all my other friends don't understand.
Okay.
They're not in business.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't understand.
Yeah.
All I got from them was, girl, I wouldn't let that happen or whatever, you know. And I was just like, I don't need that. I'm already beating myself up. So let me get somebody who can be biased, but then also be like, okay, well, let's dial it back. Because sometimes I'm more like, I'm gonna give it to you and I'm gonna keep it moving. But she was like, let's dial it back. So I found a therapist. I still have her to this day. Good. We talk every 2 weeks.
I love it.
And we just talk about the layers of things that were happening because along with life happening while you're doing a business, like stressful things happen.
Yes.
Like in the middle of me trying to grow my business, I had my dad that I hadn't had around for 40 years come back into my life and say, hey, I'm sick. I need your help.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
And you obliged?
I did. My husband was mad.
Okay, stay there for a second.
Yeah.
So he was absent.
Yeah.
No relationship at all? Like
No.
phone calls?
No.
Visits?
No.
Nothing?
No.
How did he even find you?
Well, he knew where I was. I mean, that's
even worse.
Yeah, he knew where I was.
Okay, so.
But we didn't have a relationship until, or off and on, to when I was in college. And then I just, after I left Arkansas and moved to Dallas, we didn't talk really anyway, but it just wasn't in touch. So he's kind of like, he's watched me from afar.
Wow.
Through my uncles, his brothers, because they live here.
Okay.
So it wasn't like he didn't know where I was. We just didn't talk.
Didn't talk. You hadn't heard from him in years.
Yeah.
And he calls you.
He calls me.
And says what?
Hey, I need you to go to a doctor appointment with me.
Not how have you been? Not.
Because now I do want to do this. He would talk to my children. He'd text my children and talk to them. So I didn't ever, because they're his only grandchildren. Yeah. So I didn't want to like take that away from him.
Okay.
I didn't, because just because he wasn't in my life doesn't mean that he can't be a better person in their life.
Okay.
I didn't want to take that away from them.
Fair.
That's their grandfather. You know? And he just said, yeah, I need you to go to an appointment with me.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. And I said, okay, so what type of appointment? So he said, I may have cancer. I was like, okay.
How did you feel hearing that? Was it like
It was weird.
Yeah, because...
It was weird because now I had to deal with somebody that had not taken care of me my whole life. And now here I am. I got to like possibly help take care of them. And that was hard. And that's therapy helped me
navigate
through,
that.
Yes.
Too. Were there any conversations about his absence? Like, did you confront him?
I did.
Was there like a how dare you or any of that? Or did you just say, okay, and never mention, like, you never even took care of me, but now you're expecting me to?
I had to get through that part first.
Okay.
To unpack that. And that's something I talked to my mom about, you know, because that was her husband at one point.
Yeah.
You know? So I had to talk to her about that and she was just like, well, you do what you think is best.
Okay.
And that's what I did. So
fair.
We went through the appointments, all that good stuff. Thank God he actually did not have cancer.
Okay.
So after he did all the testing and all that stuff, he did not. So I was like, okay, he good, you know? But I was preparing this is something he didn't know. I was preparing on the other side. At this time, I'm working for a company out of state and I had to travel once a month there. So I was already preparing to find a job that I didn't have, same doing of whatever that I do now. But I had to find something that I didn't travel just in case he did have cancer and I had to start
rearranging your life.
Yeah, I was rearranging my life for my dad that I did not really know at that time.
What gave you that heart posture?
Just the kind of person that I am. My husband was mad.
Why was he mad?
Because he felt the same way. He was just like, he didn't, child support. He didn't help you. He didn't raise you. But he went through the same thing too. Single parent home.
Okay.
Because he was like, I would have done it for my daddy. But I felt like that was my duty. Now I have brothers, but what they gonna do?
I talk to a lot of elderly folks.
Yeah, and I'm the oldest in my...
And what they always say is their daughters are the ones that come through the most.
Yeah. Sometimes, yes.
But I think that also comes from what they're taught.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Society-wise, most boys grew up thinking anything that's nurturing, caring, that's a lady's job. I'm going to do this.
Yep.
So I think we're seeing a shift in parenting to where it's just like, no, we need to be well-rounded in all these things. It's not a gender role. It's a character trait.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, okay.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So,
I'm
and it wasn't that my brothers weren't there.
Yeah.
They kind of knew what was happening. And my dad wanted me to keep it hush and all that stuff or whatever. But he eventually told them.
So are y'all cool now? Do y'all have a relationship now?
With me and my dad?
Yeah. Or did he like... okay, I don't need your help anymore.
No, so this is where I had to finally get the courage to say, you haven't been there for 40 years. I can't have a relationship with you. And that's something that my therapist kept nudging me to do because at this point, once he found out he didn't have cancer, it was like, now I'm getting phone calls. Oh. Now I'm like, hey, baby girl, I want to talk to you. And I was just like, I don't know you. You my daddy. But I got a stepdad that raised me. That's my dad.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I went without. I have a stepdad that raised me.
Okay, fair.
So, and it was just like, it was all the time. And he was calling and texting. And I'm busy. I got a full-time job. I'm running a business full-time. Kids, husband. I was like, he didn't know that part of my life.
Okay.
And he didn't know me. So therefore, here we are. I had to finally say, he kept calling me one day. And I had to leave him a voice note because I felt like when we did have conversations on the phone that he wasn't hearing me or what was happening in my day. He wanted to get out what he wanted to say. And he's like, all right, talk to you later. Oh. I left him a voice note and just told him, I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're well. You're now, you're okay. But it's been 40 years. I don't know you. You don't know me. And we got to slow this up. And you can only call me one time a week. I had to put boundaries on that.
Come on.
You can only call me one time a week. You can't call me every day.
Yeah.
You can't call me 7 times a day.
7?
Oh, that was happening. Back to back to back to back. And I was just like, because in his mind, it was like, if I didn't answer, something was wrong.
Okay.
And he was going into protector mode. That's what I felt.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because
you haven't protected me all these years. Where was this coming from?
Okay.
Where was this coming from?
Okay.
So I had that voice note and I saved it because I was like, just because I got to send it again. And he called me again, like that next day. And I said, you understood my voice note, right? He's like, yeah. And he just kept talking. And I said, okay. So I ended up, this is going to sound bad, and it sounded bad to my kids. I had to block him.
Okay.
I had to, because I had to this was the action. Set that standard.
He didn't listen.
He ain't listen.
Did he ever apologize to you?
No.
That's crazy work.
Yeah. But I knew in college I would never get an apology for him not being there.
How did you move past that real quick? Because I know we're winding down.
Yeah. I was okay with that in college once I saw certain things happening. And I was just like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I had a dad. I had my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad raised me from the time I was 5 years old to now.
Yeah.
That's my dad. Mm-hmm. That's who my kids call their grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
He's not blood, but that's my dad.
Yeah.
You know? So I got past it in college. I was like, I'll never get an apology. I'll never get to know him as my dad.
Mm-hmm. You made peace with it.
I made peace with it early on when I was like 21.
That's some radical acceptance.
Yeah.
It's a term we have in the field. Just like essentially accepting things for what they are. It doesn't mean that they're okay or that you're fine with it, but it's just like, this is what it is. So I'm gonna move on.
I'm gonna move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you have like all these things that have shaped and
I do.
And this passion of helping women and seeing them go far.
Absolutely.
So where can people find you for support, assistance? Like, how can they get a hold of you?
People can get a hold of me on Instagram, CoachJJSays. I want to preface this stuff.
Okay.
Because I am in a space now, because like I said, I jump from, once I'm done with something, I'm like, all right, what's next?
Okay.
I'm actually dialed that back.
Okay.
My therapist said, hey, you just lost your business in this economy.
Okay.
Let's slow this down.
All right.
You can go ahead and do girl grown, but slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I got to find Janelle's joy.
Yeah.
My kids missed me because I was always gone. My husband missed me. Mm-hmm. And I'm now like, I got to find what makes me happy and spending time more with myself. I'm okay with being by myself. Yeah. It's lonely, but I'm okay with being by myself. Mm-hmm. So that's how I know I like myself. Yeah. That's how I know I'm a good person.
Yeah. I said it all the time.
Because baby, when you can't be by yourself, them demons be playing with you.
I'm glad somebody said it. Because I tell people all the time, you have to be comfortable spending time with yourself.
Yes.
That scares so many people.
That scares people. Yes.
And I tell them this. I'm like, if you don't like yourself enough to spend time with yourself, why are you expecting other people to like you?
That is it.
To spend time with you.
That is it.
Around.
That is it.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I love that. So you're just pacing.
I'm pacing it. I was actually going full-fledged into it, but she saw what I was doing. As I was talking about it, she was like, I see you speeding this up.
Yeah.
I know you have things that you have to do that are financially, that are this. She said, but you have your job.
Okay.
It's okay. You have to like dial this back. And finally, one day, actually a few weeks ago, I said, take this slow. Learn who this Janelle is, but keep growing.
Yeah.
Keep reinventing, keep evolving, but get back to Janelle. Get back to what makes you happy. So I'm getting back to like, that's how we met through the opposing class.
Yes.
You know?
Shout out to Brittany.
Yes. And going back into heels dancing. Like I used to be a part of a dance class, dance troupe here, dance classes and stuff like that. And just working out for myself and not for everybody else.
Yeah.
So making videos and stuff like that, like I was going full-fledged into like doing that. And I was just like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that right now. Slow it down. Get out of the bed slower.
Oh. So you're learning rest.
I'm learning rest because in the last maybe 7 to 8 years, I was not resting.
Okay.
I lost my weight and I started doing this.
Okay.
And I said, I got to slow it down.
Okay.
I got to slow it down. So people can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. All CoachJJSays. But I'm just going to just take it slow.
Okay.
I'm going to come out with my book when I get ready to.
Okay.
I'm going to come out with my YouTube when I get ready to. But I need to like learn who this Janelle is so that way I can continue to evolve and be the best mom and best wife that I can be. My children are 16. They're about to be 16 and 22.
Yeah.
You know, they gonna be gone. They gonna be gone. I tell them all the time, please don't leave me. My 22-year-old, he's in college. Please don't leave me. He'd be like, oh my God, Mom.
Yeah.
But he's at home.
Yeah.
You know, because I was just like, I refuse to let you go out into this world like I had to and just be out there like trying to pay for an apartment, pay for a car, and you barely make it ends meet.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do that to him.
Okay.
So generational curse broken.
I love that.
Because I wasn't gonna let him do that.
Okay.
You know, so.
You gave us an array of vision today, which is the way that we go about healing, growth, confidence.
Absolutely.
You know, pivoting with change.
Yes.
Setting firm boundaries.
Absolutely.
She said what she said.
Did what she said.
10 toes down.
I said what I said. Yeah.
Right? All the things that are important, especially for women who are struggling to figure that out.
Yes.
So, ladies, I encourage you to follow her, keep up with her, you know, so you can see when she's getting back into opening up her books for, you know, some extra coaching and follow for Girl Wrong.
Yes.
You know, all the things, right? Thank you for coming, Janelle.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. This was so fun. Thank you, Brittany.
You're welcome. I'm glad. Well, guys, that is it for today's episode. I hope y'all are doing well and stay blessed. As always, control the controllables and be the best version of you can be every day. Until next time.
Bye.